Captain Ju Park stared out the window of the shuttle as it approached the massive shipyard hidden on the dark side of the moon. The stars shone bright against the black canvas of space. He had been in space many times before, but this view never got old. 5 minutes to docking, Captain, the pilot said. Ju nodded and straightened his uniform. The message he had received yesterday still seemed unreal. After 15 years of service in the Earth Defense Force, he was chosen to command humanity's newest and most powerful ship. The shuttle turned slightly, and Ju's breath caught in his throat. There it was, the Titan-class flagship Prometheus *. The ship was enormous, its sleek hull reflecting the distant sunlight. At nearly 2 kilometers long, it dwarfed everything else in the shipyard. Impressive, isn't it? The pilot said with pride in his voice. They built her in secret for 10 years. Yes, it is, Ju replied simply, hiding his excitement behind a calm face. As the shuttle docked with the massive ship, Ju gathered his small bag. He traveled light, always had. The airlock hissed open, and he stepped through to find a tall, thin man waiting for him. Captain Park, the man said with a stiff bow. I am Commander Do-Yeon Kim, your executive officer. Commander, Ju nodded. Good to meet you. Do-Yeon's face showed little emotion as he said, I have served on 4 vessels before this one. I have memorized all ship systems and crew profiles. Ju smiled slightly. The commander was clearly brilliant but seemed to lack some social skills. That was fine. Ju needed smart people, not charming ones. Show me the bridge, Commander, he ordered. As they walked through the ship's wide corridors, Ju noticed the newest technology everywhere. The Prometheus * was truly the best humanity could build. Crew members stopped and saluted as they passed. The ship has a crew of 500, Do-Yeon explained. The best minds from every nation on Earth. They entered the bridge, a large room with viewing screens covering the front wall. Officers worked at stations around the circular space, monitoring systems and running final checks. A small woman with short black hair approached them. Captain Park, welcome aboard. I'm Dr. Hae-Yeon Lee. Dr. Lee created the quantum communication array, Do-Yeon added. It allows us to talk instantly across any distance. Hae-Yeon smiled modestly. In theory, at least, this is its first real test. Your work has changed everything we know about physics, Ju said, impressed. I read your papers. Before Hae-Yeon could respond, the main screen lit up with the face of an older man wearing an admiral's uniform. Admiral Choi, Ju said, standing straighter. Captain Park, Admiral Sunwoo Choi nodded seriously. I see you've met your team. I wish we had more time for introductions, but we have a situation. The screen changed to show a star map of the solar system. A red dot moved slowly near Neptune. 3 days ago, our deep space sensors detected this object, Admiral Choi explained. It's massive, at least 10 times the size of your ship, and it's moving at speeds we thought impossible. Ju felt his heart beat faster. Is it? Yes, Captain. We believe it's not from Earth. Your mission is to intercept this object, determine if it's a threat, and represent humanity in case of first contact. A heavy silence fell over the bridge. After centuries of wondering, humanity might finally have its answer to whether they were alone in the universe. The Prometheus * was built because we detected strange signals from deep space years ago, the Admiral continued. We hoped we would have more time to prepare, but that time has run out. Ju looked around at his new crew, the brilliant but awkward Do-Yeon, the genius Dr. Hae-Yeon, and dozens of others, all waiting for his response. We won't let Earth down, Admiral, he said firmly. When do we leave? Immediately, Captain. Humanity's fate may rest in your hands. The screen went dark, and Ju turned to his crew. You heard the Admiral, he said calmly, hiding his own worry. Let's meet our new neighbors. The asterisk Prometheus asterisk traveled through space faster than any human ship before it. Captain Jiwoo stood on the bridge, watching as the blue planet Neptune grew larger on the main screen. Somewhere near the giant planet waited the unknown alien vessel. "Captain, we will reach the intercept point in 10 minutes, Commander Do-yeon reported. Jiwoo nodded and turned to his communications officer. "Chief Kang, are you ready?" Minji Kang looked up from her station. Her fingers moved quickly over her console as she adjusted settings. "Yes, Captain. I've prepared all Earth languages and mathematical sequences for first contact." "Good," Jiwoo said. He pressed a button on his chair. "All crew, this is the captain. We are about to make history. Stay calm and remember your training." Dr. Haeyeon approached Jiwoo, her face serious. "Captain, our sensors are getting clearer readings of the alien vessel. You should see this." The main screen changed to show a massive ship. Everyone on the bridge fell silent. The alien vessel was enormous, shaped like a dark, curved blade. It made the asterisk Prometheus asterisk look tiny in comparison. "It's at least 20 times our size," Do-yeon said, his voice unusually quiet. "Scan for weapons," Jiwoo ordered, keeping his voice steady. "Multiple energy signatures that could be weapons," replied the sensor officer. "Their technology is like nothing we've seen before." Suddenly, Minji's console lit up. "Captain, we're receiving a transmission from the alien ship." Jiwoo took a deep breath. This was it, humanity's first contact with an alien civilization. "On screen," he ordered. The main screen flickered, then showed a creature that made several crew members gasp. It had a reptilian face with dark scales and yellow eyes with vertical pupils. Its mouth was wide with rows of sharp teeth. "I am Overlord Krot of the Vraxan Imperium," the creature said in perfect English. "You will identify yourselves." Jiwoo stepped forward. "I am Captain Jiwoo Park of the Earth Ship asterisk Prometheus asterisk. We represent humanity and come in peace." The alien's mouth stretched in what might have been a smile. "Mammals who have achieved space flight. Interesting. The Vraxan Imperium claims this star system for colonization. Your species will submit to our authority." A cold feeling spread through Jiwoo's chest, but he kept his face calm. "With respect, Overlord, Earth is our home. We do not submit to anyone. We offer friendship instead." The alien made a sound like harsh laughter. "Friendship, the Vraxan do not befriend. We conquer or destroy." "We will defend ourselves if necessary," Jiwoo replied firmly. The alien leaned closer to the screen. "Your primitive ship against ours. Your weapons would barely scratch our hull." Dr. Haeyeon stepped forward and whispered to Jiwoo, "Captain, something's not right. Some of the technology displays behind the alien are inconsistent. They might be exaggerating their capabilities." Jiwoo gave a small nod and addressed the alien again. "If you know our language, you must have studied us. Then you know humans fight fiercely for their freedom." "Yes," the alien replied, sounding almost amused. "You are the first species in centuries to refuse our terms immediately. Most beg for mercy or offer resources. We are not most species," Jiwoo stated simply. The alien was quiet for a moment, studying Jiwoo with those yellow eyes. "Indeed, you are amusingly primitive. Yet you stand before the might of the Vraxan without fear." Minji whispered to Do-yeon, "Is he insulting us or complimenting us?" "Both, I think," Do-yeon replied. The alien leaned back. "Perhaps immediate conquest is not necessary. You have caught our interest, humans." Jiwoo felt a small spark of hope. "What do you suggest instead?" "A series of challenges," the alien said, "to determine if your species deserves to exist alongside the Vraxan, or if you should be eliminated like so many others." The bridge crew looked at each other nervously. Jiwoo stood tall, his eyes never leaving the alien's face. "What kind of challenges?" he asked. The alien's mouth stretched again in that not-quite smile. "You will find out soon enough, Captain Ju Park. Prepare your best minds. You will need them. The screen went dark, leaving the humans staring at the massive alien ship looming before them. They want to play games with us. Security Chief Taehyun Yoon's voice was sharp as the command crew gathered in the meeting room. The stocky former Special Forces soldier crossed his arms. This doesn't feel right. Captain Ju nodded. I agree, but we need to understand what we're dealing with. The alien ship has weapons that could destroy us in seconds, Commander Do-yeon said. We have few options. The screen on the wall lit up again, showing the Vraxan Overlord. Humans, we have decided the terms of our challenge. 3 tests to prove your worth. And if we pass these tests, Ju asked, we will leave your system in peace. The alien's vertical pupils narrowed. If you fail, your planet will become ours. Dr. Haeun stepped forward. And we're supposed to trust your word. The alien made that strange laughing sound again. Trust is irrelevant. You have no choice. Ju looked at his crew. They all knew the alien was right. What is the first challenge? Ju asked. A test of your technological understanding, the alien replied. You will send your best engineers to our vessel. They must solve a problem of our design. Chief Engineer Jin-Soo Kwon spoke up from the back of the room. The man was short with messy hair and hands stained with engine grease. I volunteer, Captain. It could be dangerous, Ju warned. Jin-Soo shrugged. Everything worth doing is dangerous. Besides, I've been taking machines apart and putting them back together since I was 5. Very well, Ju said. Chief Kwon will lead our engineering team. The Vraxan's mouth stretched in that not-quite smile. Good. Your engineers will come to our ship in 6 Earth hours. Be prepared. After the screen went dark, the crew began to discuss strategy. I need a team, Jin-Soo said, including Yoon Shin. Commander Do-yeon raised an eyebrow. Junior Engineer Shin. She has limited experience. She thinks differently, Jin-Soo replied. And different thinking is what we need against aliens. While the engineering team prepared, Commander Do-yeon studied the sensor readings of the Vraxan ship. He noticed something strange. Captain, he called Ju over. Look at these readings of their propulsion system. Ju leaned in. What am I looking at? Energy fluctuations here and here, Do-yeon pointed. It suggests damage or weakness. They're hiding it well, but their ship might not be as perfect as they want us to think. Keep analyzing, Ju ordered. Find anything we can use. 6 hours later, Jin-Soo and his team prepared to board a shuttle. Junior Engineer Yoon Shin looked nervous but determined. She was young, with round glasses and quick eyes. Yoon, Jin-Soo said quietly, if you see anything unusual on their ship, remember it. Every detail could help us. She nodded quickly. Yes, Chief. Captain Ju approached the engineering team before they left. You represent not just this ship, but all of humanity. Show them what humans can do. We won't let you down, Captain, Jin-Soo promised. As the shuttle prepared to leave, Dr. Haeun pulled Captain Ju aside. I've been thinking about why they're doing this. Advanced species don't normally play games with those they consider inferior. What's your theory? Ju asked. They're either testing us for some reason beyond simple conquest, or, she hesitated, or what? Or they're not as powerful as they want us to believe. Maybe they need to understand our capabilities first. Ju watched as the shuttle left the ship, carrying his engineers toward the massive alien vessel. Let's hope Jin-Soo and his team can give us some answers, he said, and maybe show these Vraxans that humans aren't as primitive as they think. The shuttle grew smaller against the backdrop of the enormous alien ship, carrying humanity's first ambassadors into the unknown. The inside of the Vraxan ship was strange and unsettling. The walls seemed to pulse with a faint blue light, and the air had a sharp smell that made Jin-Soo's nose itch. He led his team of 5 engineers through wide corridors, following their reptilian guide. Yoon Shin walked close behind Jin-Soo, her eyes wide as she took in everything. "Chief," she whispered, "the material of these walls. I've never seen anything like it." "Remember everything you see," Jinsu whispered back. The alien guide stopped before a large door that slid open silently. "This is our engineering chamber. Your challenge awaits." The human team entered a vast room filled with equipment and glowing displays. 3 Vraxan engineers waited, their scaled skin reflecting the blue light. They were taller than the humans, with 6-fingered hands and those unsettling yellow eyes. "Welcome, primitives," the lead Vraxan engineer said. "I am Chief Engineer Shark." Jinsu stepped forward. "I'm Chief Engineer Jinsu Quan. We're ready for your challenge." Shark pointed to a large device in the center of the room. It looked like a complex network of tubes and energy nodes, all connected to a central core. "This is a standard power distribution system," Shark explained. "Your challenge is to improve its efficiency by at least 20% using only the materials provided." He pointed to a table of components. "You have 4 hours. We will be doing the same tasks separately. The team with the highest efficiency improvement wins." Jinsu studied the system carefully. It was alien technology, but certain principles had to be universal. Energy was energy. "Let's get to work," he told his team. Yuna analyzed the flow patterns. As they worked, the Vraxan engineers watched with obvious amusement. "They'd probably expect us to copy their design," Yuna said quietly, "but I don't think that's the best approach for us." Jinsu nodded. "We don't think like they do, so let's not try to." 2 hours into the challenge, the human team was taking a different approach than the Vraxans. While the aliens focused on maximizing peak power output, Jinsu's team was creating a system that adapted to changing conditions. "On Earth, we never had unlimited resources," Jinsu explained to his team. "We had to make things work with what we had and make them last." The Vraxan engineers finished their work early, their system pulsing with power. "Observe true engineering," Shark said proudly. "Our design achieves 25% improved efficiency at peak performance." Jinsu didn't look up from his work. Impressive. But peak performance isn't everything. In the final hour, Yunha made a breakthrough. "Chief, if we reconfigure this connection here, we can create a feedback loop that harvests waste energy." Jinsu's eyes lit up. "Brilliant, Yunha." When time ran out, both systems were tested. The Vraxan design performed perfectly at first, achieving their claimed 25% improvement. But when the test parameters changed, simulating different conditions, their efficiency dropped sharply. The human design, however, adapted. It maintained a steady 23% improvement across all test conditions, and even improved over time as the feedback system Yunha designed collected waste energy. Shark stared at the results in disbelief. "This is unexpected." "You built for ideal conditions," Jinsu explained. "We built for the real world, where conditions are rarely ideal." "How did you know to do this?" another Vraxan engineer asked. "Humans have faced resource limitations throughout our history," Jinsu said. "We learned to adapt and make the most of what we have." While the Vraxans discussed the results, Yunha approached Jinsu. "Chief," she whispered, showing him a small device in her palm. "I managed to scan their shielding systems. There's a pattern to their energy fluctuations, a potential weakness." Jinsu nodded slightly, careful not to draw attention. "Good work." Shark approached them. "Your test is complete. The results are acceptable." It clearly pained him to admit it. "Return to your ship. The next challenge will begin tomorrow." As they walked back to their shuttle, Jinsu felt a small sense of pride. Humans had won the first round, not by copying alien methods, but by being uniquely human. "They want me to do what?" Commander Doyun asked, his usually calm face showing rare surprise. Captain Juwu looked at the message from the Vraxans again. "They want you to represent humanity in a tactical simulation, a virtual battle." The command crew had gathered on the bridge of the Prometheus after the engineering team's return. Jinsu had shared their victory, along with Yunha's secret findings about the Vraxan shields. This is their second challenge, Chu continued. Each side will command identical virtual fleets. The winner proves tactical superiority. Do-Yun nodded slowly. I see. They want to learn our military thinking. Exactly, Security Chief Tae-Yun said. This isn't just a game. They're studying us. But we need to play along, Ju said. Do-Yun, you're our best tactical mind. Are you ready for this? Do-Yun stood straighter. Yes, Captain. I have memorized every major battle in human history. I will not fail. 2 hours later, Do-Yun sat in a strange chair aboard the Vraxan vessel. A helmet-like device rested on his head, connecting him to the simulation. Across from him, a Vraxan military commander named Drak wore a similar device. The rules are simple, explained a Vraxan technician. Each of you commands an identical fleet. The battlefield contains asteroids and nebula clouds. Last fleet standing wins. The simulation began, and Do-Yun found himself in virtual command of 30 ships. He could see them on a 3D display along with the battlefield. A vast region of space filled with asteroid fields and glowing gas clouds. Drak wasted no time. His fleet formed a perfect arrow formation and moved forward with mathematical precision. Their coordinated firing patterns were flawless. Do-Yun watched as 3 of his ships were destroyed in the first exchange. The Vraxan ships moved as one perfect unit, each knowing exactly where to be. Your formation is chaotic, Drak commented. Your ships lack coordination. Instead of answering, Do-Yun split his fleet into 5 smaller groups. He sent 2 groups to hide in the asteroid field. A mistake, Drak said. Dividing your forces makes them weaker. Suddenly, Do-Yun ordered one of his groups to make a direct attack on the Vraxan fleet. It looked like a suicide run. Foolish, Drak said as his ships easily destroyed most of the attacking human ships. But while the Vraxans were focused on the attack, Do-Yun's hidden ships emerged from the asteroids behind the alien fleet. They fired quickly, taking out several Vraxan ships before retreating. Drak adjusted his perfect formation to pursue, exactly as Do-Yun had predicted. The Vraxan commander was following standard tactical logic. Your ships are too predictable, Do-Yun said quietly. You always make the mathematically correct move. Because it is the best move, Drak replied. Do-Yun sent another group on what appeared to be a poorly planned attack. The Vraxan ships moved to intercept, falling into the trap Do-Yun had set. Hidden ships emerged from a gas cloud, attacking from a new angle. As the battle continued, Do-Yun used tactics that seemed strange and illogical. He sacrificed ships when there was no clear gain. He retreated when he had the advantage. He split his forces when conventional wisdom said to group them. And yet slowly the Vraxan fleet was losing ships. Your tactics make no sense, Drak said, frustration in his voice. You sacrifice strategic positions. You ignore opportunities. I'm not fighting the way you expect, Do-Yun replied. That's the point. In the final moments, Do-Yun had just 5 ships left against Drak's 7. The Vraxan seemed certain of victory. Then Do-Yun did something completely unexpected. He sent all 5 ships in different directions. Now you ensure your defeat, Drak said. But as the Vraxan fleet split to pursue, Do-Yun's ships suddenly turned and converged on Drak's command ship from 5 angles at once. Before the other Vraxan ships could respond, the command ship was destroyed. The simulation ended with both fleets nearly wiped out, but the human victory was clear. How? Drak asked, removing his helmet. Your tactics defied logic. Humans have fought each other for thousands of years, Do-Yun explained. We learned that perfect logic can be predicted. Sometimes, the unexpected move is the winning move. Drak studied Do-Yun with new interest. I will study your tactics closely, human. They are fascinating. The final challenge will test your minds in a different way. Overlord Krot announced from the main screen on the Prometheus bridge. Not your engineering skills or battle tactics, but your ability to negotiate and solve problems together. Captain Juwu nodded. What exactly is this test? You will send 2 representatives to meet with 2 of ours. Together, you must solve a resource allocation problem for a fictional shared world. The solution that brings the most benefit will win. After the transmission ended, Juwu turned to his crew. We need our best minds for this. Dr. Heiyun, you understand complex systems better than anyone. Dr. Heiyun adjusted her glasses. I'll go, Captain. And we need someone who understands communication. Juwu continued. Chief Kang, you're our expert in languages and cultural signals. Minji Kang looked surprised. Me, Captain, I'm not a diplomat. Neither are they, Juwu said with a small smile. That's why I want you both. Science and communication together. 6 hours later, Heiyun and Minji sat at a large round table in a neutral meeting room on the Vraxen ship. Across from them were 2 Vraxens, a scientist named Mavic and a communication specialist named Thrax. The challenge is simple, Mavic explained, touching a control that brought up a hologram of a planet. This fictional world has limited resources that must be shared between our species. We must create a system that produces the most efficient outcome. What are the exact parameters? Heiyun asked. The hologram changed to show detailed information about the planet. Its water, minerals, land, and energy sources. The planet can support both our species, Thrax said. But choices must be made about how to allocate everything. For the next hour, both sides studied the data. Then the negotiations began. Our solution is straightforward. Mavic presented first. The Vraxen would control 70% of resources and oversee global operations. Humans would manage the remaining 30% under our guidance. That doesn't seem fair, Minji objected. It is not about fairness, Thrax replied. It is about efficiency. Our species has managed planets for 10,000 years. We know what works best. Heiyun studied their proposal. Your system puts strict population controls on both species and enforces rigid social hierarchies. Correct, Mavic said. Maximum efficiency requires controlled populations and clear chains of command. Minji and Heiyun exchanged glances. Then Heiyun presented the human alternative. We propose a different approach, she said. Joint governance with equal representation. Shared resource management with flexible allocation based on changing needs. Inefficient, Thrax dismissed immediately. Too many voices lead to slow decisions and wasted resources. Not necessarily, Minji countered. Human history shows that diverse input often creates better solutions to complex problems. Your approach has no central control, Mavic said. How would you maintain order? Through systems of shared values and cooperative institutions, Heiyun explained. Our model shows that while this may be slightly less efficient in the short term, it produces greater innovation and adaptability over time. The Vraxens seemed genuinely confused by this approach. You would give individuals choice in their work allocation? Thrax asked. Yes, Minji said. People work harder and better when they choose their path. You would allow resources to be used suboptimally to maintain this freedom. Mavic asked, the word sounding strange from the alien's mouth. We would, Heiyun confirmed, because we've learned that strict control stifles the creativity that leads to major breakthroughs. This makes no logical sense, Thrax said. Your species survived this long with such inefficient systems. We didn't just survive, Minji replied with pride. We thrived. Human civilization advanced from stone tools to space travel in less than 10,000 years. How long did it take the Vraxen? The aliens fell silent, looking at each other. Our records show it took us considerably longer, Mavic admitted reluctantly. Perhaps there is something to be said for your approach then, Thrax added, studying the humans with new interest. It is not logical, but the results cannot be denied. When the session ended, neither side had fully convinced the other. But as they walked back to the shuttle, Heian whispered to Minji, "Did you notice how troubled they seem by our ideas? Almost like they've never considered there could be another way to organize society." "Yes," Minji replied. "I think we gave them something they weren't expecting. A completely different way of thinking." "The tests are complete," Overlord Krot announced. "Captain Juu Park and select officers will come to our ship for our final judgment." Captain Juu stood on the bridge of the Prometheus *, his face serious as the transmission ended. "Commander Doyun, Dr. Heian, Chief Taehyun, you'll come with me." "Is that wise, Captain?" Chief Engineer Jinsu asked, going into their territory for the verdict. "We have little choice," Juu replied, "but I don't plan to go unprepared." Security Chief Taehyun approached with a small device. "Captain, I've been analyzing everything we know about the Vraxans. Something doesn't add up." "What do you mean?" Juu asked. "These challenges, they feel like information gathering more than tests." Taehyun handed Juu the device. "I built this scanner based on Yunha's data about their shields. It might tell us more about what we're really dealing with." An hour later, Juu and his officers boarded a shuttle to the Vraxan ship. Taehyun kept the scanner hidden in his uniform. On the alien vessel, they were led to a grand chamber. Overlord Krot sat on a raised platform, surrounded by other Vraxans. The massive view screen behind them showed stars and the distant blue dot of Neptune. "Humans," Krot began, "your species has surprised us. Few races have performed so well in our challenges." "We aim to surprise," Juu said calmly. While everyone focused on Krot, Taehyun discreetly activated his scanner, pointing it around the room. "Now we must decide your fate," Krot continued. "Your engineering skills are impressive. Your battle tactics are unusual but effective. Your approach to social organization is inefficient but intriguing." Suddenly, Taehyun's scanner beeped softly. He looked at the readings, his eyes widening. He quickly moved closer to Juu. "Captain," he whispered urgently, "this room is a simulation chamber. Most of what we're seeing is projected energy." Juu kept his face neutral, but his mind raced. What was really happening here? "Before you announce your decision," Juu said to Krot, "I have a question. Why did you really create these challenges?" The Vraxan's eyes narrowed. "To test your worth, as we said." "No," Juu said firmly. "You were gathering information about us. About how we think, how we fight, how we build." The room fell silent. Krot stood slowly, his tall form towering over the humans. "You are more perceptive than we expected," he hissed. Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the ship. The Vraxans looked around in confusion. "What is happening?" Krot demanded of his officers. "Energy surge in the main systems," one replied, panic in his voice. "Weapon systems activating." Juu looked at Taehyun, who shook his head. "Not us, Captain." The view screen behind Krot flickered, and the image of the stars was replaced by another Vraxan. But this one looked different. Smaller, with lighter-colored scales and markings on its head. "Enough deception," the new alien said. "Tell them the truth, or I will." Krot hissed in anger, but seemed unable to stop what was happening. "Humans," the new alien addressed Juu directly. "I am Nexar of the Talarian Resistance. These are not Vraxans. We are Talarians." "I don't understand," Juu said, looking between Krot and the screen. "We have been misleading you," Krot admitted, his posture changing. He suddenly seemed less imposing. "We are not the Vraxan Imperium. We are refugees from them." "You've been pretending to be these Vraxans," Dr. Heian asked. "Why?" "To test you," Nexar explained from the screen. "To see how you would respond to a superior force. To learn if you might be allies against our true enemy." "The real Vraxans conquered our homeworld centuries ago," Krot continued. "We escaped and have searched the galaxy for species who might help us fight back. Most species either surrender immediately when faced with superior technology, Nexar said, or are too aggressive to form alliances. You needed to know if we could be trusted, Ju realized. These challenges weren't to test our worth to you. They were to test your worth as allies against the real threat. Commander Doyun finished. Yes, Krot admitted. The real Vraxan Imperium is coming. Their invasion fleet is still years from your system, but they will come. And when they do, they will not offer challenges or tests. They will simply take what they want. Ju looked at his officers, then back to the Talarians. So this entire first contact has been a deception. A necessary one, Krot said. Now we must decide if we can truly trust each other, human, because the real war is yet to come. The room that had once felt hostile now buzzed with a different energy. Krot, who no longer carried himself with the imposing presence of a Vraxan overlord, gestured for the humans to sit at a large round table. We have much to explain, he said, and not much time. Nexar's image on the view screen was replaced by his actual presence as he entered the room. He was smaller than Krot, with a lighter color to his scales and intelligent eyes that studied the humans carefully. For centuries, we Talarians have searched for allies against the Vraxan Imperium, Nexar explained. We've found many species, but few with the right qualities. What qualities? Commander Doyun asked. Creative problem-solving, Krot answered. Tactical flexibility. Ethical reasoning. Most species excel at one, maybe two. Rarely all three. Captain Ju leaned forward. So each challenge tested a different quality. Yes. Nexar nodded. The engineering challenge showed us your creative approach to problems. The tactical simulation revealed your unpredictable battle strategies. The diplomatic test demonstrated your ethical framework. You could have just asked for our help, Dr. Heiyun pointed out. Nexar shook his head. Would you have believed us, or trusted us immediately? We needed to understand you first. And we needed you to take the threat seriously, Krot added. Fear is a powerful motivator. Ju considered this. Show us the real Vraxans, the real threat. Nexar touched a control, and the room's lighting changed. A hologram appeared in the center of the table, showing a massive fleet of ships. They were angular and dark, bristling with weapons. The Vraxan war fleet, Nexar said quietly. Over 300 ships, each more powerful than this vessel. They conquer system after system, stripping planets of resources and enslaving populations. How do you fight such a force? Chief Taeyun asked. With difficulty, Krot admitted. We have advanced technology, but lack your adaptability and unconventional thinking. The Vraxan expect logic and patterns. Your human unpredictability confuses them. We've been fighting a shadow war for generations. Nexar continued, gathering allies, building our strength. But we need more help. Engineer Jinsu, who had joined them via communication link from the Prometheus spoke up. Your technology still seems far beyond ours. What could we possibly offer you? Fresh perspectives, Krot replied. New approaches. In your engine design challenge, your team created a solution we never considered, and Commander Doyun's battle tactics were unlike anything in our database. Jinsu's eyes lit up. I'd like to see your propulsion systems. I have some ideas already. And I'd like to study your quantum communications technology, Dr. Heiyun added. It seems similar to my own research, but centuries more advanced. Captain Ju raised his hand to pause the excited technical discussion. Before we go further, I need to be clear. Is Earth in immediate danger? No, Nexar assured him. The Vraxan fleet is currently 5 years from your system at their top speed. But they will come eventually. They always do. Then we have time to prepare, Ju said, and to form a proper alliance, not one built on deception. Nexar bowed his head slightly. We apologize for the deception. It was necessary to determine if you were worthy allies, or dangerous enemies, Krot added bluntly. And what did you conclude? Ju asked. That humans are unlike any species we've encountered, Nexar said. Your combination of technical skill, tactical creativity, and ethical reasoning is rare. You solve problems in ways we would never consider. For the next several hours, the humans and Talarians shared information. Jinsu and Talarian engineers discussed ship designs. Dr. Heiyun examined their quantum technology with growing excitement. Doyun reviewed Vraxan battle formations with Talarian military officers. As the impromptu collaboration session continued, Captain Juwu stood with Nexar near a viewport, looking out at the stars. If we form this alliance, Juwu said, it won't just be the asterisk Prometheus asterisk. We would need to involve all of Earth. Of course, Nexar agreed. We aren't seeking the single ship. We hope to ally with your entire species. That will be complicated, Juwu admitted. Our world isn't united under one government. Even better, Nexar surprised him by saying, multiple perspectives lead to multiple solutions. That diversity of thought is exactly what we need against the Vraxan. Juwu looked back at his crew working side by side with the aliens. An alliance was forming, step by small step. Earth's first contact with alien life hadn't gone as anyone expected, but perhaps it was heading toward something better than they could have imagined. The return to Earth was tense but hopeful. The asterisk Prometheus asterisk flew alongside the Talarian vessel, no longer adversaries but allies. Captain Juwu had spent the journey preparing for what would certainly be the most important meeting of his life. Are you ready, Captain? Commander Doyun asked as they prepared to enter Earth's orbit. As ready as anyone can be to tell the world that aliens exist and they need our help, Juwu replied with a small smile. When they landed at the main Earth Defense Force headquarters, Admiral Sunwoo Choi was waiting with a large group of world leaders and military officials. Their faces showed a mix of fear, wonder, and suspicion as Nexar and Krat stepped out of the shuttle behind the human crew. Captain Park, Admiral Choi said stiffly, I see you've brought guests. I've brought allies, Juwu corrected. In the large conference room, tensions ran high as Juwu explained everything that had happened. When he finished, the room erupted in voices. This could be another deception, one general argued. They admitted to lying once already. We should focus on defending Earth, not fighting someone else's war, another official added. Nexar stepped forward. We understand your doubts. We felt the same when we first faced the Vraxan threat. He activated a small device, and holographic images appeared above the table. Planets burning, civilizations falling, entire worlds stripped of resources. This is what the Vraxan Imperium does, Nexar said quietly. We have witnessed it hundreds of times. They will come for Earth whether you help us or not. Admiral Choi leaned forward. Then we should build our defenses immediately. Bigger ships, stronger weapons. That alone won't be enough. Dr. Heiyun spoke up. She had been quiet until now, studying the Talarian technology. The Vraxans are centuries ahead of us in technology. We can't match them ship for ship or weapon for weapon. Then what hope do we have? A world leader asked. A different approach, Heiyun said. She stood and moved to the center of the room. I've been working with the Talarian scientists. Their quantum technology is similar to what I've been developing, but far more advanced. I believe we can combine our approaches to create something new, something the Vraxans won't expect. She displayed her own hologram, a complex network of quantum fields surrounding Earth. A planetary shield, Admiral Choi asked. More than that, Heiyun explained. A quantum detection and response system. It would not only protect Earth, but potentially disrupt Vraxan technology in ways they've never encountered. Engineer Jinsu joined her, and I've been working with their engineers on new ship designs that combine our adaptability with their advanced propulsion systems. More discussions followed, some heated, some hopeful. Some leaders wanted to hide from the threat. Others wanted to fight immediately. A few even suggested trying to surrender to the Vraxans before they arrived. After hours of debate, Captain Juwu stood. Look at what's happening in this room, he said, gesturing around the table. We're arguing, debating, proposing different approaches. This diversity of thought is exactly why the Tellurians need us. He walked to the window and looked out at the blue sky of Earth. Humanity has faced extinction-level threats throughout our history: plagues, world wars, climate disasters. Each time, we've survived not because we were the strongest or had the best technology, but because we adapted. We found new solutions. We worked together despite our differences. He turned back to the room. Now we face a threat from beyond our world. And once again, our greatest weapon isn't our ships or bombs. It's our minds, our creativity, our refusal to accept defeat. One by one, the leaders began to nod. Plans formed. Teams were created. A global alliance took shape, not just with the Tellurians, but among Earth's nations as well. 6 months later, Captain Jiwu stood on the bridge of the Prometheus again. The ship had been upgraded with Tellurian technology, human innovations, and hybrid systems that neither species could have created alone. Behind them flew a fleet of Earth vessels, each with mixed human and Tellurian crews. Course set for the rendezvous point, Captain, Commander Dohyun reported. Ships from 12 other resistant species are waiting for us. Jiwu nodded and looked at the view screen, where distant stars beckoned. Earth was prepared now, but they wouldn't wait for the fight to come to them. Humanity was taking its place in a larger universe, not as conquerors or victims, but as equals. "Take us out, Commander," he ordered. "Let's introduce the Vraxans to the species they never expected to meet, humans who refuse to surrender."